a while. It's Saturday, April 18th, and I haven't updated you for the whole month of April. I have been quite in a reading slump this last week, and the past week I filmed a vlog, but I was not happy with it, so I didn't upload it. And yeah, I've taken quite a break with my channel, just like a 2-week break. It's nothing incredible, but yeah, I thought it would be nice to come back with 24-hour readathon. I know that there were 2 24-hours readathon for the magical readathon the past 2 weeks, and I didn't really participate in any of them, so I wanted to make one of my own. So I'll be alone doing this one, but that's fine. So I am doing a sprint. I am going to be reading as much as possible for the next 24 hours. It's noon. It's Saturday at noon, and I'm gonna end it on Sunday at noon. I don't think I'll be able to not sleep at all because then I'll be really cranky, but I will maybe sleep around 2 to 6 or 2 to 8, something like that. And yeah, so what I want to read, I have prepared myself some physical read and some audiobook read, so I can just keep reading all day. For the physical read, I have Eric-Emmanuel Schmitt, Les 10 enfants de Madame Ming n'a jamais eu. I think it's my potion. It's my potion exam for the magical readathon, and it's super quick, and yeah, I think I'll be able to read that for sure. I have received, yes, I have ordered and received Edgedancer by Sanderson. This is my charms class, and same, it's quite of a large print, and it's only 265 pages, something like this. So I think I'll be able to go through that quite quickly, and I have it on audiobook I think as well, so I can just switch between the both. As for my defense against the dark art, read a book that's set at sea or on the coast, I have been struggling because I have started The Ship of Magic, and it's a super large beast. It's almost 900 pages, and it's an author that I am not a big fan of. The work I've read from her before, I didn't really enjoy it, and so I'm kind of forcing myself to start this new series, and it's quite of a commitment because it's 3 books of 900 pages, and if I'm not into it, then I'm just gonna waste, I feel like I'm wasting my time. So it's a lot of pressure to put on a read that's part of the readathon, and oh, I have to finish this in the next 2 weeks, otherwise I would not pass my Defense Dark Art exam. And yeah, so I've read 50 pages. The first 40 pages I was not into it at all, and then a new character has been introduced, and I'm kind of enjoying it. I know this one is nice because it's a different point of view. The series that I've read from her before, it was first person point of view and from a teenage man kind of, and this one, it's multiple point of view within a family, so you get to see different people in the same family, and it's third person, so that should be nicer. But yeah, I feel like it's too much pressure for me to absolutely read this for the magical readathon. I want to continue reading it. I want to give it a fair shot before I give up, at least a good third. If I have to give it up, I want to read at least a good third before giving it up, because then I would have read 300 pages and know this is definitely not for me, or I'm enjoying it. So instead of, well, I'm still reading this on the side, but for the magical readathon, I thought it would be nice to listen to The Lady's Guide to Piracy and Petticoats by Mackenzi. I've read the first book in this series last month, and I really enjoyed it. So I've started this yesterday. I am 40% into it maybe, so yeah, it's just like 4 or 6 hours left, so I'm gonna finish listening to that. I think it's the first read I'm gonna finish for today, and I enjoyed it. And because there were piracy in the title, I really thought she was going to spend a lot of time on a boat, and so far she hasn't. The main character is the sister of the first main character from the first book in the series. Her name is Felicity. She is an English girl living in the 18th century or 17th century, and she's trying to be a doctor. She's trying to find a doctor that would give her a shot to an education, a doctoral education, but so far, a lot of sexism, of course. So far, it's been a lot of fun. The story is super fast paced. Like the first book, it's like vroom, super fast paced. We are seeing a lot of different places in Europe, which is super nice. And I don't think it's meant to be super accurate in terms of history, but the book is treating some very important subjects, of course, sexism, feminism, how women treat each other and how they need to support each other. The character is asexual, it's referred several times, and she's questioning her sexuality and everything, so it's a lot of interesting discussion in this book, and I really enjoy that part of it. And we'll see what I have time to read or not, but maybe I would like to start Blood of Elves for my Transfiguration class. I was kind of switching back and forth between reading the Amber Spyglass, I think it is, from his Dark Materials, but I don't feel any interest in finishing this series or reading more of this series. I'm kind of sad about it because a lot of people seem to like it, but I think it's because I'm not a targeted audience, so I don't really feel very attached to this series. So yeah, I think I'm giving up on his Dark Materials. If you have nice thing to say about this series and like why I should pick it up and finish it, please tell me in the comments. But like for now, I'm gonna put that aside and like kind of forget about it. I'm not gonna finish his Dark Materials, but I really want to know what's going to happen in the Witcher series. And so yeah, that's the Blood of Elves. That's the third book in the series. It's the first one that's going to like not being short stories, but like a plot. So I'm super happy with this, and if I have time, I'll pick it up. All right. I'm not used to doing this. I'm testing some angles because it's noon and I'm hungry. I'm gonna make myself some lunch. Yesterday I cooked a big, huge bath of mushroom bourguignon. It's kind of like beef bourguignon but with mushroom instead. It's a French recipe. So with that, I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes. I haven't made mashed potatoes in ages. My mom, her dad was Italian, so when we were growing up, we were eating pasta every single dinner. This is what I'm used to eating, and I eat lots of pasta myself and not a lot of potatoes. That's not something I grew up with. So yeah, I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes because... And while I'm making the mashed potatoes, I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook with my speaker, and we'll see how the mashed potatoes turns out. Okay, so I've finished the mashed potatoes and I'm super happy with it. I put some like margarine, vegan butter, and I put some rice cream in it and some garlic powder, pepper and salt. So yeah, super yummy. And the mushroom bourguignon is doing very well. It's gonna be so yummy. Et voila! I just drowned it into the sauce. The mashed potatoes is under it, but I've put so much sauce. So yeah, I'm gonna have this, and then maybe I'm gonna call my dad while I'm eating, or I'm gonna watch a video or something, and I'm going to continue reading later. Okay, so it's 5:30. I just finished the Ladies' Guide to Piracy and Petticoats, and it was nice. it was fun. We end up spending sometimes along the shore and the sea, and we travel a bit more around Europe, so that was super nice. I think I like it a bit less than the first book in this series. I think it's just because there was less novelty to the genre for me, and yeah, I wasn't as surprised by the plot twists and stuff like this, but it was super nice. I really enjoyed the main character, Felicity, and we end up having a trio of super badass women traveling together and like cheering each other on, and yeah, that was very beautiful. So I think it's time I give you a little update on what I've been reading so far this month. So we're halfway into the month and I haven't been reading as much as I thought I would or wanted to, but I started the month on a great note. I've reread Brandon Sanderson Warbreaker. It was the first Brandon Sanderson I've read last year and ever, and it's has such a deep impact on my reading life, like as you would expect, and it was such a great thing to reread it. I've reread it in one shot. I just spent all day reading it. I stayed up quite late to finish it, but I enjoyed it so much. And then for the next day, I was just thinking of the implication of Warbreaker could have into Stormlight archives and into Oathbringer and everything, and this is building up my anticipation to read Oathbringer. The next step is to read Edgedancer, of course. Here it is. So after that, I read The Murder of Robert Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. It was the next one on my list, and I enjoyed it for the twist. I didn't really enjoy the story in itself because, as every single time, it's in a big English mansion in some English countryside, and we have quite the same cast of character as usual, but the twist at the end was so good. I stayed up in my chair like, what? So yeah, that was great twist in the end, but the story wasn't that great. It really reignited my wanting to read every single Agatha Christie out there. So I have ended up making spreadsheet out of it because I love spreadsheet and I love like comparing and blah. So it ended up being 14 Hercule Poirot, 7 Miss Marple stories, and then 5 other stories from Christie that I really want to read. And yeah, I can't wait to dive on this list. So far, what have I read? 3 Hercule Poirot, 2 Miss Marple, and none of the other stories. And that's why I've ordered myself And then there were none in this beautiful hardback edition by, I think it's HarperCollins. Yeah, HarperCollins. And it's so much bigger than I thought it was. I thought it would be like as big as my Great Gatsby, but it's so much bigger. I'm a bit disappointed by the cover. I thought like the print is not nicely done like it is on this Great Gatsby one, but you know what, it's fine. I'm super excited to be reading this, but it's not on my list for now. I'm trying to control myself. What did I read? And then I've read my History of Magic exam, which was Waking the Witch by Pam Grossman, and it was amazing. It's a non-fiction about witch and how witch influence our culture, our community, and what is being a witch today and what it implies. And yeah, it was a great read, very feministic, and I really enjoyed it. Pam Grossman identifies herself as a witch, and she tells us what it meant for her, what was her parkour journey to waking the witch in her and the other people that she met, and witch in our culture, how we see it in movies and books, and what does it imply for us. And yeah, it was super nice. I really enjoyed it, and it's both on ebook and audiobook on Scribd. So if you want to check that out, now it's the time. So that means that so far I have passed my Defense Against the Dark Arts with the Ladies Guide to Piracy and Petticoats. my herbology class with the murder of Mr. Ackroyd, and my history of magic class with Waking the Witch. So to continue this 24 hours readathon, I think I'm gonna start reading the Edgedancer by Sanderson, and when I want to take a break reading this, I'm gonna start and maybe hopefully finish this by Eric-Emmanuel Schmitt. So that's what I want to tackle for now. And I completely forgot to update you on this read. It's Notre Dame de Paris by Victor Hugo. I've been buddy reading it with Christie, and so far I'm enjoying the atmosphere. I love Paris. I love being in Paris, so I'm loving seeing Paris through the eyes of Victor Hugo in the Middle Age. And I'm really enjoying the characters. They're super well fleshed out so far. Very colorful, very bright, and a lot of different characters. I'm in book 4. I'm in book 4 so far. So yeah, it's super nice. The only thing is that the vocabulary used is ancient because Victor Hugo wrote this in 1840, something like this, and it's meant to be taking place in 1476 or something like this. And yeah, some word about architecture or tools that are used in the Middle Age and that we don't know anymore or have no use for anymore, so it fell in oblivion completely. And yeah, sometimes I'm like, there is a succession of words that I don't know what it means, and I'm just like, what is this meant to convey? Like, what is this sentence supposed to be? But that's the only thing. Other than that, I'm very pleasantly surprised by this. I'm gonna make myself some tea maybe before starting Edgedancer. I wanted to show you what is this huge mess in the back of my video. It's just all of my sewing things. I've been trying to make masks for people, like to do something to help, but my sewing machine over there is not helping me, and I haven't been able to make any mask so far, but I'm hoping my parents can bring me their sewing machine so I can start and be more productive and make masks. Okay, I have been looking for my phone for the past 20 minutes in my apartment thinking, this is crazy, how can my phone disappear? And it was in the couch, on the side of the couch. So yeah, my life. It's now 7:40 something. I'm gonna make myself miso soup with some dumplings that I have frozen. So I have started the 10 children that Mrs. Ming never had, and it's about that guy who travels to China for work and meets this woman in the lobby of the hotel he is at, and she kind of like tells him stories about her 10 children, and he's like, what the F? Like, you're barely allowed to have 1 children or like 2 children in China, and you're telling me that you had 10? And yeah, so that's the story. She tells him, like every single day she tells him a bit about one of her children and stuff like this. And there is already like quite a few some phrases that I ponder about for a few minutes, and yeah, it's super nice so far. While I'm cooking, I'm gonna listen to Edgedancer, and I'll see you later. It's 8 o'clock and everybody is clapping and cheering on for the health worker, and I love this moment of the day. It makes me feel connected to everyone else. Like, I don't have any human interaction all day, so like this makes me feel part of the community and that I'm not alone. So I'm gonna go cheer. So I'm making myself some dinner, and while I do that, I'm watching Together at home. It's like a lot of celebrities from all over the world are sending videos of them like try to raise money for the World Health Organization, and there's like some singers, actors, comedians, and I know it's like from all over the world, like Celine Dion is doing it, and it's like huge in France. And yeah, it's even going to be on TV in France. I think it is right now. I'm watching it over on YouTube, and I think it's just great. So I'm watching this while I'm making myself some chia pudding dessert, just some chia seed like this with, I put almond and hazelnut milk because I like the taste of this. I put in there, and then I tried some different combination. I tried it with like chocolate powder, one with cinnamon and one with chicory. It's like kind of a coffee without the coffee enzyme that makes you like super hyper. So this is gonna run till like 4 a.m. So I'll see if I just keep it in the background while I'm reading. And I know Taylor Swift is supposed to appear on that, and I'm a huge fan of Taylor Swift, so I hope I get to see her tonight before I fall asleep. Okay, so it's officially 2 a.m. I have been reading this, I finished this. This was fun and cool, but I need to do more research because I feel like I haven't been able to see everything that I was meant to be seeing in this book. So I should be doing that maybe tomorrow morning when I feel a bit more awake. And like, I only have 20 pages left in this book, and this is going on right now, so I'm gonna watch that now. It's already amazing. So much talent. I wish I could play an instrument, but I don't. Got myself some snack, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the concert, and maybe I'll try and finish this while I'm at it. And yeah, I'm having a blast even though it's 2 a.m. Woo! What a nice bunch of legends. It's amazing. I'm loving this. What you want, you can't always get what you want. She got me crying. Such a beautiful song. I don't even know what time it is now, but I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna try and wake up maybe around, let's say 8, and more realistically maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and finish this reading rush. Maybe by starting Blood of Elves I finish the 2 books. I will give you my thoughts tomorrow morning. Okay, so don't fall asleep with makeup on. Completely forgot to remove my makeup yesterday. It's 9:30. I didn't manage to wake up earlier. I'm an old girl, alright. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea or coffee or something just to wake up my vocal cord and my face, and I'll see you in a second. It's super gloomy today. I think it's gonna be like that all day. It's the perfect day to read. So, up. Here we are. Last night I finished the 10 children that Mrs. Ming never had. Maybe a bit too close. And it was a super nice read. It's the story of this French guy that travels to China for his work, and every time he leaves a meeting, he goes down to the ground floor of his hotel to go to the bathroom, and there's this lady cleaning the bathroom, and they start engaging conversations, and she tells him that she has 10 children, and he's just super doubtful because no mother has 10 children in today's China. And so she's telling him these very intricate stories about all of her children and what they're doing and where they are in life and stuff like this. And it's always with a nice moral in it, and there's quite a few quotes from Confucius in there, and it was very nice. Let me find one passage that I can maybe translate. Okay, I found the passage, but I'm going to try and translate as I go, so sorry if I go so slow. So this part takes place while the Frenchman, he is walking around the city where he is in China, and he's reflecting between the differences between Europe, our Occidental world, versus China. And yeah, so it starts like this. Confucius inhabits the mind of the man's. His defense of the familial love, his cult for the respect, and his war against abuse still lives in the minds of people. It's very different from the European, who conserve their Roman ruins in the heart of their cities, but completely forget about their own philosopher. They visit the cathedral and completely live behind Christianism. The Chinese don't put their own cultures in the rocks. Here, the past is part of the present in the mind, not imprint in the rock. I hope it makes sense what I translated, but for me it really touched me, because it's so true that in Europe we have loads and loads of antique remains that we visit as we will go to the cinema or do something else, but we don't inhabit the philosophy of that era anymore. We don't revisit those philosophers except like 1 year in high school, and it's not part of our culture at all. As in China, Confucius is still kind of religion. People still study his essays, and it's a very different and beautiful way to remember our past. All right, let's move on. Edgedancer. This was loads of fun, but I think it's my first Brandon Sanderson I didn't give 5 stars, because it's so short. It doesn't really grab you as a full-on Brandon Sanderson books, but it's super nice. I really enjoy Lift. It's something very different from what Sanderson does usually. Lift is around, we guess, 13 years old, and she is obsessed by food and eating. This is all she wants to do. And it's super fun to be in her mind, and it's super quick and sometimes delirious, sometimes super funny. She has nickname for everything, and yeah, it was loads of fun to visit another area of Rochard, another culture, and definitely recommend reading Warbreaker before reading this, because there is something in there from Warbreaker. I won't say more, but it took me quite a while to notice it, and I reread the passage right now when I was making my coffee, just to be sure. And yeah, I'm super happy with it, and the story as a whole was very nice. I really enjoyed that. now I'm rethinking why not give it 5 stars, because compared to other books, it's definitely a 5 stars. But compared to other Sanderson's work, it's a bit less. What I miss from this read is the deepness we can find in other Sanderson's work, the philosophy behind it, the thing that makes you think. That's what I miss from this story, but it's still very good and super well written. And right now I still have, I think, like 2 hours or maybe less, so I'm gonna start Blood of Elves, like right now. Just a little bit, just to see where the stories go. I still haven't finished a Netflix show. I still have like 2 more episodes to see, but I know we're not gonna get any updates soon, because I don't think any shows is able to film anything right now. So I want to like keep it for a bit longer. So I'm gonna start reading this one. So it is the end of this 24-hour readathon. I did a quick sum up of all the pages that I've read, and I've read around 640 something pages, which is quite nice. It's like maybe an eighth of what I've read during a month. So wow, I am very proud of myself. I had lots of fun with those books. I'm way tired. I feel like I could nap until tomorrow. But yeah, this was loads of fun. I really enjoyed this read. Very philosophical, very nice and warm, especially during this time. Super fun read. I'm very excited to continue with this series, and I'm very excited to read more about this character. I think now she's quite shallow, sorry, my oven. But I think we're gonna get so much more deepness coming from her as we go in this read, in this series. And I'm like a chapter into this, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how and when I got attached so much to these characters, but like I love Geralt. I love his character. I just can hear his voice in my mind whenever I read his lines, and Dandelion the Barb is just super fun, or Jasker as we have in our translation in French and as we have on TV. I think maybe the translation was not good in English, so that's why they switched it in the series, in the Netflix show. But yeah, I'm enjoying this very much. The first chapter was kind of fun. We saw plenty of characters we saw during the first 2 books, retelling kind of the stories that we've read before. Dandelion was like singing about Geralt and Yennefer and the Princess Ciri and stuff like this, and people were debating, is this true? Yeah, I saw him during this battle, and I don't think he is alive anymore. Yes, nobody can beat Geralt, blah blah blah. So that was lots of fun. And to finish, the Lady's Guide to Piracy and Petticoats. So this was lots of fun. Like I had a lot of fun during this 24-hour readathon. It was all very like a light-hearted read, and with some gems in there, like the subject of feminism that was treated in the Lady's Guide to Piracy and Petticoats. Really enjoyed it. Seeing some saying from Confucius in this was lovely as well. And yeah, sorry for the angle change. I just realized that I haven't updated you on my exams, my OWL exams. So now I have passed my charms with Edgedancer, my defense against the dark art with the Lady's Guide to Piracy and Petticoats and Piracy. I don't know what a petticoats is. I have to check that out. My herbology exam with the murder of Robert Ackroyd, History of Magic with Waking the Witch that I really recommend listening to or reading during this time of owl, and my potion exam with the 10 children that Mrs. Ming never had. So yeah, I still have left Merci, which is a French contemporary that my mom is lending me, and Muggle Studies with Solitaire by Alice Grossman, but it will be available on script to me only on the 25th of April, so yeah, I have to wait till then. And then my Transfiguration, which I'm doing right now with Blood of Elves. So I'm doing fine. It's April 19th and I have 3 reads left, so yeah, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. I am coming back. I hope so. I'm gonna film some videos and upload them for you. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned and like see what's going on in there. And I hope you're fine. I hope you're doing well. And if you're not productive, please don't beat yourself up. Like, those times are hard for every single person, and don't put too much pressure on yourself to do this or that, or like repaint the apartment. You don't have to be productive during this time, you just have to be, and this is enough. So yeah, I needed to hear that myself. I hope you're good, and I'm sending you lots of love, and talk to you in another video. Bye!